Okay, let's dive right into this. Welcome to today's Explainer, where we're taking a super fun, entirely beginner-friendly journey into the heart of authentic Thai cooking. If you've ever wanted to make a rich, vibrant Thai green curry from scratch at home, but felt, maybe a little intimidated, well, you are in the exact right place. We're going to break down a real Thai market vendor's recipe using really simple language. We're stripping away all the confusion so you can recreate that complex, amazing flavor right in your own kitchen.
But before we even touch the curry paste or the coconut milk, we have got to talk about the elephant in the room, the biggest home cooking fail. Why is it that homemade green curries always seem to end up with those ugly, dark brownish black eggplants? If you've tried making this before, you absolutely know how frustrating this is. Well, according to our source material, this happens because Thai eggplants contain a natural sap. The literal second you cut into them, that sap starts oxidizing and turning black from the air, completely ruining that beautiful, fresh look of your dish.
But seriously, don't worry, because the vendor's secret to fixing this is remarkably simple, and it's absolutely crucial for keeping them crisp and fresh. Step 1, just wash the whole eggplants thoroughly to get any of that surface sap off. Step 2, and this is the real magic trick, prep a bowl of water and dissolve 1 or 2 spoons of salt right into it. Then step 3, as you cut your eggplants into quarters, immediately drop them into that salt water. You've got to make sure they are totally submerged. Our source actually notes the water will turn a little dark as the sap is drawn out, but the eggplants themselves, they're going to stay a vibrant, beautiful green all the way from the cutting board to your plate.
So here's our beginner's roadmap to a perfect curry. First, the green eggplant secret. Second, our beginner's curry ingredient checklist. Third, building the curry base. And fourth, simmering to perfection.
Section 1. The green eggplant secret, the golden cooking rule.
So the crucial point here is this. You absolutely must simmer your eggplants until they are completely 100% cooked. The source emphasizes that if you rush this final stage and the eggplants are even slightly undercooked when you take the curry off the heat, boom, they'll oxidize and turn black right there in your beautiful broth. So a little patience here is just as important as that saltwater soak we just talked about.
Section 2. Beginner's Curry Ingredient Checklist. What you need.
All right, let's hit the market. Here's your shopping list directly from the vendor's recipe. You're going to need about 200 grams of store-bought green curry paste. The source notes this is super cheap and really easy to find. You'll also need a kilogram of fresh coconut milk, and for our protein today, a kilogram of fish balls. For the fresh veggies, grab those Thai eggplants, some of the smaller pea eggplants, some sliced finger root, which is also known as crotchai, baby corn, sweet basil, and both red and green spur chilies for a nice pop of color. To season it, just good quality fish sauce and white sugar. That's literally the whole shebang. This combo creates an incredibly authentic flavor profile.
Now, if you're panicking because you can't find a specific ingredient, just take a deep breath. Originally, this recipe called for young coconut shoots, but the cook couldn't find them. So they swapped in baby corn, and they noted it works perfectly. Not a fan of fish balls? Completely fine. The vendor explicitly says you can easily substitute scraped fish, minced fish, or just your standard chicken. There are no strict, intimidating rules here, guys. This is highly adaptable home cooking.
Okay, let's talk about the absolute backbone of this dish, the coconut milk. There's actually a structural difference between fresh and canned coconut milk. In Thai cooking, fresh coconut milk naturally separates into the thick coconut head, which is the rich cream, and the lighter coconut tail, or milk. This recipe uses 1 kilogram of fresh milk separated exactly this way. But hey, if you're a beginner and can only find canned or boxed coconut milk, that is totally okay. The source just advises that because canned milk is thicker, you should add a little bit of plain water to balance out the consistency so it acts a bit more like the fresh stuff.
Section 3. Building the curry base. Layering the flavors.
Let me walk you through this timeline roadmap so you know exactly what to expect when you're at the stove. At minute 1, you're going to start by frying that 200 grams of curry paste with just a little bit of coconut milk. You want to cook it until you literally see the oils separating. That means those fragrant oils in the paste are blooming. Around minute 5, pour in about 1 liter of your lighter coconut milk, the tail. By minute 10, as it's simmering away, it's time to season that broth. And finally, around minute 15, once the base is smelling absolutely incredible, you add in your proteins, like those fish balls, and your firm vegetables, like the sliced finger root and baby corn.
Speaking of seasoning, I really want to highlight a very specific number mentioned in the source material. 2. Specifically, 2 spoons of white sugar. The source explains that an authentic green curry absolutely must lean toward a sweet flavor profile. When you combine that with 1 to 2 spoons of fish sauce, and maybe a tiny dash of MSG if you want, Those 2 spoons of sugar are the precise ratio you need to nail that signature, complex market curry taste. Section 4. Simmering to perfection. The final polish. Remember earlier how we talked about separating our fresh coconut milk? Well, the vendor's secret for an incredibly rich, thick broth is holding back the absolute thickest part, that coconut cream or head, until the very, very end. By adding 700 to 800 milliliters of this rich cream to your simmering pot right now, you dramatically thicken the consistency. It's what gives the curry that luxurious, velvety texture you usually only get at the really good street food stalls. With that thick cream in, it's time for some rapid-fire final steps. First, drain your perfectly green eggplants from their saltwater bath and toss them in. And remember our golden rule here: simmer them until they are completely cooked. Once they're tender, throw in your sliced red and green spur chilies. They add this massive, gorgeous pop of vibrant color against the pale green broth. Finally, top the whole thing off with a handful of sweet basil, give it a quick stir, and immediately turn off the heat.
And just like that, you've done it. You serve this rich, fragrant curry with some hot steamed rice or soft kanumjin rice noodles. The vendor proudly notes that this exact recipe is so good, people will literally stand in line at the market and you won't be able to scoop it into bowls fast enough. I mean, that is a culinary success absolutely worth celebrating.
So now you know the crucial saltwater trick to keep those eggplants perfectly vibrant and green. You know how to layer the flavors, and you know how to build a thick vendor-quality coconut broth. The only question left is, what protein are you going to put in your very first perfect homemade green curry? Will you stick with the classic fish balls, or are you going to make it your own with some chicken? The kitchen is waiting for you. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and happy cooking.